Student about what they anticipate for the upcoming school year.
And we are tracking dangerous heat across the area with excessive heat warnings out there and alert days now through Thursday. We'll talk about how hot it's going to get coming up.
Plus, Pittsburgh police are asking for the public's help to identify potential suspects in a fatal shooting that occurred over the weekend.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy, and today's top story. Kansas Highway Patrol is asking for the public's help to identify witnesses in a fatal hit-and-run collision that occurred Saturday night. The collision occurred at approximately 11:34 p.m. on eastbound K66 at milepost 2.9 on the western edge of Galena. A pedestrian and a 2017-2018 Ford Raptor truck were involved in the crash. The truck is believed to be light in color, possibly maroon or red. If anyone has any information regarding the vehicle in the fatal collision, contact Master Trooper Nick Reddy at 620-431-2100. Pittsburgh police say a man is dead after an early Sunday morning shooting outside of a bar. It happened by Jimmy B's Bar at 202 North Locust Street around 1:15 yesterday morning. The victim has been identified as 36-year-old Justin Krogan of Pittsburgh. Police believe the shooting was an isolated incident that may have stemmed from an argument. There's been no word on a suspect or of anyone in custody. However, they are asking the public for help identifying the people of this photo that were at the bar. If you have any information, contact the Pittsburgh Police Department. And there was also an early Sunday morning shooting near a bar in Joplin. This one happened around 1:30 Sunday morning in the 500 block of Joplin Avenue. Police say a patrol officer heard a gunshot, responded, and found a man with a gunshot wound. The victim was taken to the hospital where he was last reported in critical but stable condition. JPD is asking anyone with information to come forward. And now let's take it over to Chris Warner, who joins us with today's first day back at school forecast.
Yeah, we actually have an alert day now through Thursday because we are talking about dangerous heat out there with heat index values as high as 120 degrees, and it is already beginning to heat up across the area. We have excessive heat warnings across the entire area. Now, Wichita and Springfield offices have gone ahead and thrown these out until 10 o'clock Thursday night. And for Tulsa, it'll run this excessive heat warning in northeast Oklahoma runs through 8 this evening and comes back tomorrow and runs through 8 tomorrow evening as well. And of course, I would not be surprised if that continues to get extended as we go through the week. Yesterday started the day at 76, tied a record set back in 2003 at 101. And I wouldn't be surprised if we tie or potentially break a couple of more records as we head through this week. Temperatures right now, and this is the part that's a little tough. If you haven't been outside, these temperatures for some are a little deceiving, like Pittsburgh at 92, 93 Lamar and Carthage, 91 in Monette. But when you factor in that humidity and that dew point, these temperatures are considerably different with the heat index values. But look out to the west where they're already soaring. We had 99 in Neodesha, 97 Yates Center, Chanute, 99 Parsons, 95 Chatopa, Miami, and sitting at 94 in Joplin. So what we're keeping an eye on through the week, we have the alert days again through Thursday for the dangerous, potentially deadly heat out there as the heat index values remain close to 120 degrees, and we're going to be staying dry for the next several days as well. We're going to take a complete look at your forecast, and believe it or not, there is a bright light at the end of the tunnel. We'll talk about that as well here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, budget planning is underway for the city of Joplin. A public hearing on the city's proposed budget will be held at the city council meeting tonight at 6 p.m. In his presentation to City Council during the week's work session, City Manager Nick Edwards noted that the budget serves many purposes. It is a policy document, a financial plan, an operations guide, and a communications tool. It lays out the projects for the year, and the city's fiscal year runs from November 1st through October 31st. And we have a traffic alert for all you commuters. Beginning today, there will be lane reductions on I-49 in McDonald County for pavement repairs. Crews will be repairing I-49 pavement in both north and southbound lanes from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday, August 21st through Friday, August 25th. Traffic impacts will be reduced to one lane where crews are working, so expect delays during high traffic volume times, and drivers are urged to find alternative routes if possible. Today is the first day of school for Joplin students at Soaring Heights Elementary School. We spoke to one fifth grader about why it's so important to start the first day of school on the right foot so it may lead to a great school year.
That fourth grade last year was the best, and I was in fourth grade last year, and so I was part of that, and now we want to make fifth grade the next level, and then keep going and keep going.
So when the students enter the building, it kind of feels like the reward that we have someone who we actually get to share all this knowledge and all this planning, and we've worked so hard to connect and figure out ways to help them grow.
We'll hear more from EJ and his teacher on KOAM News at 5. And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the four-state region. Up next on KOAM News at noon. After pounding Southern California Sunday, the remnants of Tropical Storm Hillary are still posing serious risks. We'll have the latest details on her destruction. And later, we're making Asian honey garlic chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stay tuned. After pounding Southern California Sunday and other parts of the Southwest, including Nevada, the remnants of Tropical Storm Hillary are still posing serious risks today. Forecasters warn more flash flooding as well as mud and rock slides are possible. Max Darrow reports from Las Vegas.
As dawn broke in Palm Springs, California Monday, residents woke up to floodwaters rushing through roads after Hillary dumped half of the city's annual rainfall in just a few hours. The first tropical storm to hit Southern California in more than 80 years brought lashing winds and heavy rainfall to a region much more accustomed to drought. As the floodwaters rose quickly in Victorville, California, Juan Pfeiffer and his mother decided to leave for higher ground.
All that started within an hour or two and then just kept piling up, and the water keeps coming further back up the street.
The storm has already triggered mud and rock slides like this one in Sheep Canyon, California.
That is all avalanche debris.
In Los Angeles, where the storm flooded freeways, schools are closed today.
As you know, sometimes damage can occur in the hours and days after a storm hits, so Angelenos should continue to stay vigilant.
And it wasn't just California. Floodwaters from Hillary gushed through this casino parking lot in Las Vegas. Here along the Las Vegas Strip, the worst seems to be over. The storm has been downgraded, and the National Hurricane Center expects it to dissipate later today. Nevada's governor had called up the National Guard ahead of the storm. And in Yuma, Arizona, 60-mile-an-hour winds knocked down trees and power lines, leaving parts of the city without electricity. Max Darrow, CBS News, Las Vegas.
In addition to Hillary, a 5.1 earthquake shook Southern California Sunday afternoon. The quake was centered near Ojai, just north of Los Angeles. No significant damage has been reported. And the GOP candidates for president will debate on Wednesday for the first time, but the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, says he won't be there. A new CBS News poll shows that Trump's fourth criminal indictment is not hurting his popularity. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette has the details from New York.
Former President Trump made his latest campaign appearance in Tennessee, holding a fundraiser late last week. He won't be joining the other GOP candidates at the first Republican primary debate in Milwaukee, saying he'll instead release a taped interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. Republican contender Chris Christie dismissed the news.
I have no concerns. Whether he's there or not, I'll be just fine.
A new CBS News poll shows likely Republican primary voters don't want to hear criticism about the frontrunner at the debate. More than 90% said they want to hear candidates make the case for themselves. Only 9% want them to make the case against Trump. The poll also shows Trump gaining support after his fourth criminal indictment in Georgia. More than 60% would vote for him today versus 16% for the closest contender, Ron DeSantis. The rest of the candidates only registered single digits.
Please welcome.
Despite that show of support, Asa Hutchinson made this prediction in Iowa Saturday.
You're going to be the first state that moves away from Donald Trump.
Other candidates are keeping the spotlight on Trump's legal cases.
I think that these indictments are a disaster for the country. I think they set a dangerous precedent for the ruling party to use police force in the middle of an election against political opponents.
Trump has until Friday to surrender in Georgia for alleged meddling in the 2020 election. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
But first, we are continuing with the dangerous heat this week. We'll talk about that forecast and when we might see some relief when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. So as we mentioned, we've got alert days now through Thursday, and that is for the dangerous heat that we're going to see. And this you got to take it seriously. We're not just messing around with saying dangerous heat. We're talking dangerous, potentially deadly heat. Let's talk about all that right now on this alert day Monday. We have the excessive heat warnings. Quick recap: Southeast Kansas, Northeast Oklahoma, Southeast Kansas, Southwest Missouri. These run until 10 o'clock Thursday. The National Weather Service offices in both areas have just gone ahead and just said this is going to stick around. In Northeast Oklahoma, Tulsa office has it running through 8 p.m. this evening. It'll resume again tomorrow and run until 8 p.m. Tuesday. And then again, odds are they're going to continue to extend it as we head through the next several days. So let's talk about this heat and what we're talking about. This is it. I mean, this is the core right here. We have sunny skies, no clouds out there, at least not from this particular view here at 7th and Range Line, and I haven't seen any on any of our other cameras as well. We're sitting at 94. That's the deceiving side if you haven't been outside. The temperature, yeah, it's hot, but it's not too terribly far above normal for this time of year. It's this that's killing us. The heat index right now in Joplin is 111. 111 at the noon hour. And that is because of this. Our dew point is 79 with a humidity of 62% and only a light north breeze out there. So let's take a look in Pittsburgh. And believe it or not, it's a little worse in terms of the dew point and humidity. Pittsburgh's only at 92. That's like a degree above normal. But the heat index is 114 with a dew point of 82. And humidity of 70%. Now, we're used to seeing dew points as high as 74, maybe 75, but we have a dew point in Pittsburgh of 82. Temperatures around the area, it is hotter to the west, which means the impact on the heat index is even greater. We've got 97 Yates Center, 99 Neodesha Parsons, 97 in Chanute, and it's just 12:16. We haven't even reached peak heating of the day. 95 in Fort Scott, 93 Iola, 95 Chatopa, Miami, 93 Neosho, 93 Carthage, Lamar. Now let's take a look at the dew points, and this is what we're talking about. They are at absolutely miserable levels. We have low 80s for the majority of our northern counties, and we're in the mid to upper 70s on dew points and some low 80s even back into northeastern Oklahoma. So this is what I'm talking about. We're used to seeing maybe up to 75. We are well beyond soupy out there. We are absolutely miserable. And look at this heat index map. This is what we're being serious. This is very dangerous heat. And again, for some groups, potentially deadly if you're out there too long. Feels like 116 in Yates Center, 114 in Neodesha, feels like 118 in Nevada and Stockton, 109 Carthage, and 108 Mount Vernon, so a little bit better, but that's still dangerous. 110 Commerce, 110 Chatopa. And then we look at what it's going to be like down the road. We go later into the evening, we see a lot more into the 110s near 120. For heat index values. Even at midnight, heat index values still in the low to mid 90s. And as we head into our Tuesday, heat index values once again 115 to 120 out there. And by Wednesday, no real relief there either. Still, heat index values into the 110s across the area. And that's why we have alert days all the way through Thursday. With the triple-digit temperatures, heat index values easily pushing 120 out there. Watching Friday, still looking to be hot. And then Saturday, Sunday, that's where we finally see some relief. We have some scattered thunderstorm chances Saturday and Sunday evening. And then on top of that, as we go into the weekend and next week, those temperatures finally come down into the upper 80s and lower 90s. So we will get relief. But the problem is we have got, again, the very dangerous, potentially deadly heat across the area as we head through this week ahead. So you've got to take this seriously.
Absolutely.
We mentioned it during the morning show. Schools recess right now this week, not a good idea to let those kids outside. It is too dangerous out there.
Thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making Asian honey garlic chicken in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time now to check in with Howard and the Mr. Food Kitchen staff. Today he's making an easy chicken recipe with the dynamic flavor duo of honey and garlic. It's called Asian honey garlic chicken. Take a look.
Lemon and lime.
Brown sugar and bacon.
Mint and raspberry.
When it comes to cooking, There are certain flavors that make the perfect couple. An obvious one is Kelly's favorite, peanut butter and chocolate. Another combo that's really popular right now is garlic and honey. Believe it or not, the bold taste of fresh garlic complements the mellow sweetness of honey. Today, we're going to show you how you can turn this combo into a mouth-watering main dish. We start by seasoning some flour with salt, pepper, ginger, and a touch of ground red pepper. Then we coat some chicken breasts that we've already flattened with the flour mixture before dipping them in beaten egg. Now we saute these sort of like we would if we were making chicken francais. While these cook, we combine some butter with a generous amount of honey, some soy sauce, and our minced garlic. Once the chicken is cooked through and golden, we drizzle it with our sweet and savory sauce. To get the recipe for our brand new Asian honey garlic chicken, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found the perfect pairing way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. We paired garlic and honey.
To find this recipe, along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com and click on Mr. Food. And now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Alert days now through Thursday, excessive heat warnings in place, and this is why we got heat index values approaching 120 out there right now. We'll have triple digits all the way through Thursday, watching the heat on Friday, and then some relief finally arrives by this weekend. But again, this week, you've got to be taking precautions, and in all honesty, stay inside if you can. It is too hot.
All right. Not the best start for the school day, but hopefully later on in the week they can actually enjoy their recess. Well, Dal, what do you have going on for us this evening?
Well, a lot of five. For starters, President Biden and the First Lady are set to visit Maui today to get a first-hand look at the massive destruction caused by the wildfires. Residents there are still struggling to move on as crews search for hundreds of people still missing. Plus, the historic Reddings Mill Inn is off the auction block and under new but old management. And it's a new year with new lessons as schools are back in session. We're going to take you to the excitement of the first day. Hope you'll join us. KOAM News at 5.
All right. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5.